LeBron James, the chalk toss. LeBron stepping on the court is one thing, and him performing his pregame routine is another thing, commanding total attention and cameras on standby to capture all of the moment. LeBron James does not begin his game without this routine, where he bends down, grabs a handful of chalk, some call it powder. He gets to sprinkle it over his palm, then clap his hand and toss it high into the air, letting the particles spread evenly into the air. Over the years, the chalk toss has become a ritual and a pre-game signature. At some point, LeBron stopped the performance as he felt he had outgrown it, but fans had fallen in love with the performance and couldn't phantom LeBron without his pre-game ritual. The chalk toss became iconic, not just for the visual spectacle, but for how it set the tone. Every NBA arena with LeBron present feels like it's acknowledging royalty. It's a celebration of control, confidence, and showmanship all at once. It went on to become a celebration that you can find on the lips of every NBA fan. It became iconic. The swooping arc of white chalk, the slow turn of LeBron, the gaze across the arena. Its performance, ritual, and statement rolled into one. LeBron James's chalk toss has proved to us all that celebrations don't have to be after the buzzer. Sometimes, owning your presence before the game starts is enough to command respect, set the tone, and signal greatness. Damian Lillard, Dame Time. Damian Lillard isn't that player who just makes shots. He also owns the moment. However, there's a method to his celebration. Whenever the final seconds tick down, Lillard takes on that moment and lets his celebration shine. A fist pump, a low crouch, and you can see him with his other finger tapping on his wrist, simply telling you it is Damian Lillard o'clock. This celebration has gone ahead to become so significant for him. At Portland, it was a celebration that got the fans cheering so hard as they celebrated his dunk. Everywhere he went, he made sure the Damian Time celebration went on with him. At Milwaukee Bucks, he ensured the fans caught up with the fever. This celebration is not just a ritual or routine, it has been considered as one of the most outstanding signatures ever in the history of modern basketball. His celebration isn't only for the court. Across socials, fans have turned it to a pose for the gram. Damian Lillard's celebration often comes with different names. Some call it Dame Time or Lillard Time, but one thing stands out. Whenever this celebration comes through, it can be so taunting for the opponents and their fans after making an excellent dunk. Dame Time is that brilliant celebration that reminds everyone who is in charge. With his heads up and his finger tapping his wrist, you can see the aura of confidence and timing simply oozing from him. Dame Time has become both a nickname and a philosophy. Your moment, your stage, your declaration. Let me know what name you call Damian Lillard celebration in the comments section below. Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Eurostep slam pose. Giannis Antetokounmpo's celebration is one of the legendary celebratory performances in the history of the NBA, but the celebration after certain dunks is unforgettable. In the 2019 season, Giannis drives baseline, defenders scrambling to catch him. He slides past two defenders with that trademark Eurostep, finishing with a two-handed slam. But the most fascinating thing about his celebration is there's more to him than one celebration. He has the Eurostep celebration, where he lands on his feet, straightens his posture, and flexes both arms skyward, chest out, eyes locked onto the rim. On some other celebration, he has shown the keep quiet celebration to the opponent fans. And his most recent celebration is the mask celebration, where he joins both the right hand and left hand fingers together, depicting a mask which he proceeds to block his nose and mouth, only revealing his eyes and most part of his head. His celebration has gone ahead to transcend into football, with players like Khris using his celebration signature on the pitch. Giannis has often revealed that he's a lover of football, and Arsenal is his favorite football team. And as you already know, whenever it's time for Giannis' celebration, the arena explodes, and the cameras capture all angles without leaving any crumbs. Whether it's the Eurostep celebration, keep mute, or mass celebration, there's one thing that is obvious. The fans will lose their cool upon any celebration he chooses to do on the court. Players like Bam Adebayo or Jayson Tatum have often mimicked his pose in practice and highlight reels. Fans chant Greek Freak in unison with his celebration, and you can tell he's loved by the fans. Dwyane Wade, the finger wag. Dwyane Wade made the finger wag iconic, especially during the 2006 to 2007 season with the Miami Heat. After slicing through defenses for a layup or dunk, Wade would land, spin slightly, and wag a single finger toward the scorer's table, the bench, or even the stunned defender. As you already know, celebratory style in basketball can be for the fans' hype or for taunting. And just like other players, Wade is not known for one style celebration. He has been able to bring several celebratory styles to the court, some which has caused him to be fined. Fans are always anticipating his celebration as it always lives up to the hype. The best moments came in high-stakes games. In a playoff matchup against the Celtics, Wade drove baseline, spun past Paul Pierce, and finger-wagged midair, letting the crowd and cameras immortalize it. He is famous for his "I'm on fire" celebration, the finger wad, and his fine celebration, where he uses his finger over his neck to depict the sign of "kill you" or "kill them." Analysts call it playful intimidation. However, referees and the NBA frowns on it. You as a fan, what do you call it? Let me know in the comment section. Wade combined skill, swagger, and psychological warfare, and this move transcended simple celebration. It was confidence embodied. Every time Wade executes his celebration, it's a reminder that basketball isn't just about points. It's about expression, personality, and leaving a lasting mark in a fraction of a second. Vince Carter, the dunk contest pose, frozen in time. Vince Carter's 2000 dunk contest remains one of the most iconic moments in NBA history, not only for the dunks themselves, but for the celebration style that accompanied them. After completing a dunk, he ensures to bask in the moment and give the fans a short celebratory performance till he's satisfied with the hype. Carter's gesture always echoes, "This is my moment, and I own it." By holding the freeze frame just long enough, he magnified the drama, letting audiences savor every detail. The impact of his celebration has extended far beyond the contest. Teammates mimicked the stance in practice. Young players around the globe constantly tried to replicate the iconic freeze, and the highlight reels went on to immortalize the pose as much as the dunks themselves. With Carter's celebration, the dunk was unforgettable, and the pose became legendary. Ja Morant, the Lob Pose. Ja Morant is one of the players who have been fined by the NBA for his celebration style. Recently slammed with a $75,000 fine for his finger gun celebrations, Morant has gone ahead to bring a new celebration to the court. From his grenade celebration, to his finger gun, to calm down, lob, call mama on the phone, every one of his celebrations is a hit and sometimes ridiculous. Whichever celebration he is bringing to the court, the fans will always go wild for it. If you are ever looking for the best storytelling celebration, Morant is one of the sleekest players in the history of the NBA. Every celebration has a meaning attached to it, and his aura during each celebration is quite contagious. The highlight reel never gets tired of Ja Morant and his celebration shenanigans, either the fun or pissing celebratory style. Be rest assured, with Ja Morant on the court, the game is never going to be boring. Most of his celebration often says, "I own this play, I controlled time and space, and you all witnessed it." It's no doubt brief, but exhilarating. In an era of fast basketball, the Lob Pose freezes time. Finger guns and grenades mark the moment as unforgettable. It's a celebration that gets to anyone who happens to be his opponent. If you love this kind of NBA content, hit subscribe. I've got even better videos coming. Do not forget to tap or smash that subscribe button right there, or you might snooze out when we drop a new content. So use the reminder feature and like this video. Zach LaVine, the Windmill clap pose. Zach LaVine's dunks are a spectacle, but it's the signature windmill clap pose that elevates them to performance art. After launching into a thunderous windmill dunk, LaVine gets to land on his feet and immediately claps his hands mid-air or upon touching the ground, sometimes raising them toward the crowd. It's a gesture of triumph, style, and rhythm. This celebratory style became instantly recognizable in the NBA. Because it isn't random, it is well calculated, timed, and theatrical. LaVine doesn't just dunk, he narrates it, telling fans, "This is my moment, and I'm savoring it." The NBA, however, has rules about excessive celebrations. Too much showmanship, taunting, or prolonged pauses can trigger technical fouls, and LaVine has walked that tightrope multiple times. The league considers such gestures unsportsmanlike if they appear directed at opponents. Yet, LaVine manages to toe the line, expressing joy without overtly disrespecting anyone. The impact of the windmill clap pose is cultural. Teammates and opponents alike study it. Young athletes imitate it in playgrounds, and social media loops cement its legendary status. LaVine's signature flourishes so well whenever he makes the most of his dunks. The fans love him, and players adore him. Trae Young, the ice in his veins stare. Trae Young doesn't just hit deep threes, he makes a moment out of them. After draining a contested 30-footer, Young often freezes mid-celebration, chest out, chin slightly lifted, and locking eyes on the nearest defender or bench with his ice-cold performance. Young's celebration is quite deliberate, it communicates dominance. This is my range, my court, and here is my spotlight. His ice-cold celebratory style reveals he's not just cold, but extremely cold. He executes it in a way that's minimalistic. No pointing, no shouting, no theatrics beyond the stare itself and his hands wrapped around him. He ensures he controls himself with his antics, calculates every move, and becomes impossible to ignore. Like every other celebrator, the fans are in love with his iconic celebratory style. Young doesn't just celebrate a basket, he declares presence, signals confidence, and makes the defender question their choice of team. His celebration is so potent that other players mimic it in practice or gym battles. Trae Young's ice in his veins. Stare celebration has become almost impossible to ignore, even after seeing him do it over and over again. Luka Doncic, the step-back pause. Luka Doncic's step-back three is already one of the most iconic moves in the modern NBA, but the celebration that follows elevates it. After creating space and draining the jumper, Luka often plants his feet, extends his arms toward the crowd, and freezes for a split second, letting the ball swish. That's not all. He has other celebrations. He's either throwing his fingers around midair or staying out in a fixed position after dunk and allow the fans' cheers as he basks in the moment. For every bit of celebration fans, the moment is hypnotic. The freeze frame on TV, Luka's calm yet confident stare, and the gentle hand extension combine skill and swagger. It transforms a high-percentage shot into theater. The celebration isn't ego, it's storytelling that has found the hack of vitality. It emphasizes mastery under pressure, shows poise, and asserts dominance without aggression. Unlike overt taunting, Luka's step-back pause is a signature flourish and part of his personal brand. The beauty of this celebration lies in the timing. The second the shot lands, the arena reacts to both the basket and the freeze, and fans are always mesmerized by his pose. Jayson Tatum, the stare-down three. Jayson Tatum has mastered the art of scoring in silence, but his celebration is equally commanding. After hitting a deep three, Tatum often locks eyes with the defender he just beat, tilts his head slightly, and exhales as if measuring their reaction. He often gives the vibes of a weird ram ready to fight with its horn and all of its strength. The movement is cold but loaded. He does not do much other than a single gesture beyond the gaze. Tatum's signature celebration is about presence, timing, and psychological assertion. For the crowd, it's mesmerizing, and teammates feed off it, opponents feel it, and fans replicate it on social media as a symbol of calm yet unshakable confidence. In an era of explosive, choreographed dunks, he relies on micro moments, a glance, a posture, and a pause to communicate his presence. The stare-down three speaks the language of the court. I beat you, I'm unbothered, and I own this space. Karl-Anthony Towns, the rim grab freeze. Karl-Anthony Towns isn't known for over-the-top celebrations, but his rim grab freeze has become iconic. After a strong dunk or putback, Towns often hangs briefly on the rim, letting gravity pause the moment before landing with a composed stance. That fraction of a second hold is enough to mesmerize fans and annoy opponents. However, according to the rules of NBA, it strictly warns against hanging excessively on the rim to taunt or show off, and Towns skirts the edge. He doesn't swing or gesture wildly, but the lingering hang communicates mastery and control of the moment, a celebration that is almost surgical in precision. His celebration is one for the book that not only entertains, but also gets to the opposition. The highlight reels freeze for every moment Towns pull up to the rim. The rim grab freeze signature often turns a high-impact play into some on-court performance. He has been able to balance between showing flair and avoiding technical fouls, but he navigates it expertly and delivers exceptionally to get the fans shouting at their highest pace. For fans, the pause captures both physical skill and personality, making every dunk memorable. And for the defenders, it's a moment of psychological impact that shoves to their faces when they are losing. Kawhi Leonard, the silent fist pump. Kawhi Leonard is known for stoicism on the court, but his signature silent fist pump has become an understated celebration in NBA lore. After a clutch basket or a big defensive play, Kawhi often clenches his fist, pulls it close to his chest, and nods slightly, with no words, no outrageous performance, just him owning up to his presence on the court. Leonard's mastery is that the pump communicates dominance without provoking unnecessary attention. The beauty of Kawhi's celebration is in minimalism. Unlike flamboyant dunks or elaborate dances, his fist pump conveys triumph in under a second. A lot of basketball fans worldwide have often shared their opinion about his celebration as a psychological tool, signaling to both the crowd and opponents that he is unshakable. For the fans, his gesture is mesmerizing, and for his teammates, they have gone ahead to adopt the energy in practice, as they are inspired by the quiet yet commanding assertion of his sleek gesture. As much as everyone knows that the NBA thrives on showmanship, Leonard seems to have hacked this. His silent fist pump proves that restraint can be just as memorable. The silent fist pump is a celebration that doesn't need volume, it needs precision. Donovan Mitchell, the Windmill Spin Pose. Donovan Mitchell is one of the NBA's most electrifying dunkers, and the Windmill Spin Pose has become his signature stamp. After launching into a windmill dunk, Mitchell often spins slightly in midair, arms extended, before landing and briefly pointing toward the rim, bench, or crowd. The motion might seem to be ubiquitous, but yet unique in its own way, all thanks to how Mitchell carries himself and the aura that comes from him. Mitchell understands balance, artistry, and timing, while ensuring the movement communicates flair without disrespect or provoking anyone. Just like LaVine Windmill Clap Pose, fans love the visual narrative. However, Mitchell Windmill Spin Pose has helped him build a personal brand of creativity and dominance. At this point in his career, it's more than a celebration. It's a moment of performance art compressed into a fraction of a second. Mitchell is one of those players that has shown that basketball isn't just about scoring, it's about creating memorable theater that captivates audiences, inspires players, and communicates confidence. His teammates are often caught off guard, mimicking his celebratory performance in practice, and young players are constantly attempting to replicate the gesture in playgrounds. Donovan Mitchell Windmill Spin Pose has been able to create a memorable moment that captivates audiences, inspires players, and communicates confidence. It's no doubt he has been able to prove that controlled exuberance can turn athletic excellence into a visual signature that endures far beyond the final buzzer. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next videos. Devin Booker, the Shush Gesture. Devin Booker's Shush Gesture is one of the NBA's most iconic and slightly forbidden celebrations. After sinking a crucial three-pointer or executing a clutch play, Booker often brings a finger to his lips, signaling silence to the opposing team, crowd, or critics. It's usually brief, elegant, and psychologically impactful, and the move has occasionally walked a fine line with the league rules. While having the NBA technical fouls in mind, Booker oftentimes uses the shush gesture with precision. It's never prolonged or malicious, just a fleeting moment of dominance and focus. Fans and commentators have elevated the gesture into their own narrative. Replay loops, highlight reels, and social media clips have also gone ahead to immortalize it. Booker's shush gesture often communicates victory, confidence, and mastery simultaneously. And what makes Booker's celebration particularly memorable is its simplicity. Unlike the elaborate dances or flashy dunks from his colleagues in the league, the shush gesture is understated but commanding. Booker's signature is a modern example of how a small, well-executed movement can leave a lasting impression on fans, opponents, and the culture of the league itself. Khris Middleton, the Mid-Air Pause. Now, if you've watched Khris Middleton long enough, you've probably caught this little move he pulls off that slow-motion cameras absolutely love. It's what fans now call the Mid-Air Pause, a moment where time seems to just stop. Here's how it usually happens. Middleton drives to the rim, maybe off a steal, maybe off a smooth pick and roll. He takes off like he's going for a routine layup or dunk, and then right at the peak of his jump, he freezes for a split second. Sometimes his arms are stretched like he's posing for a photo. Other times, they're tucked in slightly, almost like he's balancing invisible air. It's not long, barely a heartbeat, but it's enough to make the entire arena feel it. Then he lands, cool as you like, and runs back on defense as if nothing special just happened. But here's the tricky part. The NBA doesn't exactly play around with gestures that could be seen as taunting, and hanging too long in the air can get you in trouble. However, Middleton walks that line perfectly, long enough to make the crowd react, short enough to keep the refs from blowing the whistle. The wild thing is how this little pause has grown. Highlight reels slow it down, fans wait for it every game, and teammates even joke about it in practice. It's become part celebration, part art form. Because at its core, the mid-air pause isn't just about scoring, it's Middleton saying, "I'm in control here." Brandon Ingram, the baseline lean. There are celebrations in the NBA that scream for attention, and then there's Brandon Ingram's baseline lean. Quiet, sharp, and somehow louder than a shout. Nah, if you've watched him glide to the rim for one of those smooth, stretchy finishes he's known for, you've probably seen it. He lands, turns slightly toward the baseline, chest forward, chin up, and he just holds that posture. His eyes sweep across the crowd like he's taking a mental picture of every reaction in the building. Then, just as quickly, he snaps back into the flow of the game. No doubt, it's a small gesture, but it carries weight. Having the NBA technical foul in mind, Ingram never overdoes his celebrations. As it's not about starting anything, it's about stating something. A moment that says, without a single word, "Yeah, I meant every bit of that finish." What makes the baseline lean so interesting is that it proves you don't need wild celebrations or long theatrics to make a moment stick. Sometimes it's the stillness that hits the loudest. When Ingram leans, it's a pause that carries confidence, control, and a little bit of mystery. Chris Paul, the slow raise fist. And Chris Paul has never been the type to scream in someone's face or dance down the court after a big play. Instead, he has one of the calmest and most quietly intimidating celebrations in the NBA, the slow raise fist. It usually appears after a clutch assist, a smart steal, or a mid-range jumper that stops a run. Paul doesn't rush it. He lifts his fist slowly, almost like time has paused for him alone. He looks toward the crowd or locks eyes with a teammate, gives a tiny nod, and then he's already jogging back on defense. The whole thing lasts just a moment, yet it feels like a statement. It says, "I've been here before. I know what I'm doing. Let's keep going." Fans jokingly call it the Agama effect, comparing it to the calm, unbothered pose of an Agama lizard soaking in the sun. And honestly, the name fits. There's something unshakable about the way Paul does it. No yelling, no chest pounding, just pure confidence. What makes this celebration even more special is that it has become a teaching moment for younger players. They try it in practice, copying the timing, the stillness, the respect in it. Paul has shown that you don't need to be the strongest dunker in the league or break into a wild dance to leave a mark. Sometimes, less truly speaks louder. The slow raise fist has become a part of Chris Paul's legacy, which serves as a reminder that authority doesn't always need noise. It's a celebration built on composure, mastery, and years of knowing exactly who he is on the court. Allen Iverson, the step over. There are NBA moments that live in highlight reels, and then there are moments that live in culture. Allen Iverson's step over in the 2001 NBA Finals wasn't just a celebration, it was a shockwave. Late in Game 1 against the Lakers, Iverson hit a tough fadeaway jumper over Tyronn Lue. Lue slipped and hit the floor while trying to contest the shot. Iverson could have sprinted back on defense like every other possession, but he didn't. He paused, looked down at Lue, and took a slow, deliberate step over him. Then he ran back like nothing unusual had happened. That single step turned into a statement. It was fearless, loud without a word, and dripping with defiance. Fans inside the arena erupted, and TV cameras locked onto the scene like they knew history had just been made. It instantly became one of those images burned into the league's collective memory. However, that very moment didn't go unchallenged. Analysts and league officials debated it for years. Some called it disrespectful, a humiliation no professional deserved. Others argued it captured what made Iverson who he was, a player who didn't care about fitting in, a man who came from nothing and refused to bow to anyone on the court. Tyronn Lue later admitted it stung, but even he recognized its place in NBA lore. And while the league never officially banned the move, players who tried it later often found themselves fined or warned for taunting. The step over became more than a highlight. It became a symbol of rebellion, of authenticity, and of a player who played the game on his own terms. Allen Iverson didn't just score that night. He stamped his legacy on the hardwood, one step at a time. Steph Curry, the shimmy shake. Stephen Curry's shimmy shake became an NBA phenomenon and a source of controversy. After nailing deep three-pointers, especially in clutch moments, Curry often broke into a spontaneous shoulder-shaking dance while backpedaling down the court. The move started around the 2015 to 2016 season, when the Golden State Warriors were rewriting basketball with their three-point revolution. The fans were in love with it. The opponents? Oops, not so much. Some saw it as cocky, even taunting, particularly when Curry shimmied after sinking shots over defenders like Matthew Dellavedova during the 2016 NBA Finals. The league, ever conscious of maintaining sportsmanship, subtly discouraged gestures seen as mocking opponents. Curry defended it as pure emotion, a natural reaction to adrenaline and joy. However, several referees issued warnings for excessive celebration after prolonged shimmies, especially when directed toward the bench or opposing players. What made the shimmy infamous wasn't just the dance, but the timing. It often came after demoralizing plays, deep threes from 30 feet, broken defenses, and unstoppable hot streaks. The dance was brief, but the message was clear: you can't guard me. Despite pushback, the celebration became synonymous with Curry's brand, a joyful, expressive, and confident version of basketball. Kids imitated it worldwide, and even teammates joined in. Though never officially banned, the shimmy shake remains one of the few celebrations referees still monitor closely for intent. Curry proved that even joy, when displayed at the wrong moment, can shake the line between sportsmanship and showmanship. Kobe Bryant, the jersey bite and cold stare. With the Mamba mentality, Kobe Bryant didn't need fireworks, chest pounding, or a victory lap to let the world know he was locked in. His celebrations were quiet, almost still, yet they carried the weight of a storm. The most unforgettable of them all were the jersey bite and the cold stare, two gestures that captured everything we came to know as the Mamba mentality. Whenever Kobe sank a dagger three or hit a fadeaway that sucked the air out of an arena, he would grab the edge of his jersey and bite it gently. At the same time, he would fix his eyes on the court, or sometimes directly on an opponent, with a stare so intense it could freeze a moment in time. There was no yelling, no showboating, just a man so deep in competition that it almost didn't look real. The jersey bite showed up early in the 2000s, especially in the playoffs. It became a kind of ritual, a way for Kobe to pull himself into an even sharper state of focus when everything around him was chaos and noise. Teammates later explained that it wasn't anger. It was a way of holding in the adrenaline instead of letting it spill over. But the NBA didn't always love it. As the league worked to limit taunting and over-the-top post-play reactions, officials occasionally warned him when the stare lingered too long or felt too personal. Opponents admitted that it rattled them. For some, that stare felt more disrespectful than any dunk or scream. One moment that lives forever happened during the 2008 Western Conference Finals against the Spurs. Kobe hit a crushing jumper, turned toward their bench, bit his jersey, and held that icy glare. Commentators said it crossed a line, and fans said it defined him. Over time, the jersey bite and cold stare became something bigger than a celebration. They became symbols of obsession, discipline, and a refusal to blink when the game was on the line. Kobe didn't just play basketball, he hunted for greatness, and those gestures were the world's window into that fire. And there you have it. 20 NBA celebrations that broke the rules, stirred emotions, and became unforgettable moments of basketball history. From silent stares to daring dances, these gestures remind us that the game isn't just about points, it's about personality, expression, and legacy. Which one's your favorite? Drop it in the comments section, and don't forget to smash that subscribe button and hit the like button here.